Hey guys, I want to talk about our sinful nature or the flesh and or our bodies, the instincts of our bodies. Realistically, the intro comes from the part that we denied God as a creator. We didn't want to follow him. We didn't want to do these things. So God let us do what we wanted and we were given over to sinful desires and so forth. This is found in Romans 1. Well, it's interesting, how does the flesh actually respond, or how do we know it's the flesh and so forth? In general, the sinful nature is tied to our bodies. So it's not like, like demon possession or anything like that. No, no, no. Everybody has a sinful nature and everybody has these instincts. It's kind of like you can compare it to hunger. It's these cravings that your body creates. And some of the desires that the body has are actually good. It's for example, you have desire to have intimacy. Well, that's a good desire because this is the way to reproduce. But at the same time, since we covet and we never stop, their body continues to lust forever. And that goes for food, that goes for cravings. We get covetous when somebody has something more than us and so forth. So how do we know if what I'm doing is just my body's desire that's already has these uncontrolled cravings, or this is actually from outside influences? In general, the one of the best distinction is the feeling, the desire. It kind of responds based on instinct. For example, you wake up in the morning, you a lot of times can be on an edge and so forth, and everything's not good. And this, people say, until you have a cup of coffee. Well, that's your body. Crankiness, usually, feeling on the edge, random mood swings, randomly on the edge with somebody. That's all flesh, all sinful nature. That's not demon possession or so forth. It's our body responding to certain things. And it's one of the biggest difficulties of our life is to control our bodies. Just like we want to eat never ending, we want to do this and so forth. So one of the things that constantly happens is that, like, jealousy is a huge one. It's we look at somebody else has something we don't have, and instead of we want it, right? Instead of just mentally digesting is, okay, I gotta try harder, I gotta work harder to get that. No, in a sense, he becomes our enemy, and we start having these angers towards them, random urges to something that I want, and so forth. You could see your body doing these things. If somebody has a, like I say, better body than you, and a lot of times you could look down on them. It doesn't make sense. We could start randomly saying negative, feeling negative towards them. Basically, it's an urge. In all of it, if you're having a fight with a husband or a wife and you randomly have these urges and these desires, but you can't comprehend it, and guess what, your mind tries to resolve it and so forth, so you can come up with an idea or so forth, and you could attack your husband and your wife. But realistically, the main way to tell if it's the flesh is based on the urge. If you have the urge for something, it's a sinful nature going forth. If it's an evil thought that comes in and so forth, right, well, that's usually an outside thing. But the urges, the anger, all those things, it's just a part of our body. And one of the greatest ways to conquer it and so forth is through self-control and controlling our minds, changing the thoughts and so forth. And guess what? Every single one of us has a sinful nature. If we don't come around and we don't try to control the nature that we have, we will be terrible, and we will be doing those crazy things. And it's instinct, like somebody has something a little bit better, we're angry at him. There's a wife that comes, she looks good, guess what, we want to have intimacy. Guess what, um, we get married, right? Our kids, our parents can get angry because guess what, oh, they left us, so they're going to be angry at our spouses and so forth. Let's say, for example, somebody marries our daughter. We can be angry at the person they married. Guess what? The body responds to it. This is our love. This is what we cared for, and they took it away. And you could see this in play all the time, where just mothers are just angry at like son-in-laws for no reason, because flesh, it's instinct. Someone takes away something you love. It's just this. It's an emotional thing. It's calculated but not reasonable. It's not logical. It's instinct. Like you look at a deer is a good example. They just like marching around. Okay, they go this way. They respond based on smell, just instinct. Like in terms of logic, I'm gonna go do this or that. No such thing. But that's the point. Is if we don't start using our brains more often, we're gonna be like those stupid deers, just jumping over fences and just randomly running on the road and everywhere else. No common sense and so forth. And that's exactly how a lot of us as human beings live 24/7, living in our sinful desires, carrying our sinful nature, and so forth. It's crazy, but it's just true.